4188. When is the temperature at one of the forecast altitudes omitted at a specific location or station in the winds and temperatures aloft forecast? FB. A. When the temperature is standard for that altitude. B. For the 3,000-foot altitude, level, or when the level is within 2,500 feet of station elevation. C. Only when the winds are omitted for that altitude, level. The correct answer is B. For the 3,000-foot altitude, level, or when the level is within 2,500 feet of station elevation. In the winds and temperatures aloft forecast, FB, the temperature at the 3,000-foot altitude, level, is typically omitted, as well as at other altitudes when the level is within 2,500 feet of the station elevation. This is done because the temperature at these altitudes is considered to be similar to the surface temperature or the temperature in the immediate vicinity of the station. Therefore, it is not necessary to include it separately in the forecast. 4189. When is the wind group at one of the forecast altitudes omitted at a specific location or station in the winds and temperatures aloft forecast? FB. When the wind A. is less than 5 knots. B. is less than 10 knots. C. at the altitude is within 1,500 feet of the station elevation. The correct answer is C. When the wind at the altitude is within 1,500 feet of the station elevation. In the winds and temperatures aloft forecast, FB, the wind group at a specific altitude may be omitted if the wind at that altitude is within 1,500 feet of the station elevation. This is because the wind at such a close altitude is expected to be similar to the surface wind or the wind in the immediate vicinity of the station. Therefore, it is not necessary to include it separately in the forecast. 4190. Decode the excerpt from the winds and temperature aloft forecast, FB, for OKC at 39,000 feet. FT 3,000, 6,000, 39,000 OKC 830558. A. Wind 130 degrees at 50 knots. Temperature minus 58 degrees Celsius. B. Wind 330 degrees at 105 knots. Temperature minus 58 degrees Celsius. C. Wind 330 degrees at 205 knots. Temperature minus 58 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is B. Encoded wind speeds 100 to 199 knots have 50 added to the direction code and 100 subtracted from the speed, so 830558 would be wind direction 83, 50 equals 330 degree, wind speed 05, plus 100 equals 105 knots. Temperatures are negative above 24,000 feet, so 58 becomes minus 58 degrees Celsius. 4199. A station is forecasting wind and temperature aloft at FL 390 to be 300 degrees at 200 knots. Temperature minus 54 degrees Celsius. How would this data be encoded in the FB? A. 300054. B. 809954. C. 309954. The correct answer is B. In the winds and temperatures aloft forecast, FB, the encoding for wind direction and speed follows a specific format. The first 3 digits represent the wind direction in tens of degrees, and the next 2 digits represent the wind speed in knots. In this case, 300 represents a wind direction of 300 degrees, and 95 represents a wind speed of 95 knots. The temperature is encoded as a 2-digit value after the wind speed. In this case, minus 54 represents a temperature of minus 54 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the correct encoding for the given data would be 809954. 4186. When does the National Weather Service release an aviation notification watch message, SAW? A. At 0000 UTC. B. At 0000 and 1200 UTC. C. Unscheduled and issued as required. The correct answer is C. An Aviation Notification Watch Message, SAW, is issued by the National Weather Service, NWS, when there is a high probability of significant weather conditions that could impact aviation operations. These messages are unscheduled and issued as required, depending on the specific weather conditions and potential impacts on aviation. They are not released at specific predetermined times like 0000 UTC or 1200 UTC.